minutes, internally, I was screaming my head off. I couldn't feel my legs. I tried to stand up and just wobbled and collapsed back down to the floor. And I was like, okay, I don't think this is for me. But I knew my guides were, you've got to do this, Davinda, you've got to do this, you've got to clear, you've got to purge, you've got to shift this stuff. And you'll be teaching others what you're doing. After about a year, I could sit for about 10 minutes, crossing my legs. And after about 10 minutes, again, I'd go to stand and I'd have pins and needles that would just make me want to murder somebody. And I would just collapse back down. But through persistence, I remember after 4 years, I started tapping into what's known as samskaras, which are the deep, so I was sitting in meditation for about 12 hours a day at one point to heal my back, after with my guides telling me that was the way to heal my back. If I wanted to be a yoga teacher and quit my job, I couldn't. I'd have to have those 2 metal plates put in, which is what doctors advised. And I didn't want to. I wanted to be a yoga teacher. I didn't want 2 metal plates in my back, which meant I couldn't bend forwards. So it's like, you've got no choice, Davinda. You've got to shift this. You can clear this. Trust us. So I did, because for me, it's the end of my life. I really do not want to stay in this career for the rest of my life. I know yoga's for me. I've done it, and my soul just shouted and screamed, this is what you're meant to do. And it's like, I can't ignore it. I would love to ignore it. I really would, and carry on, but it was so loud. It's like, I can't. I know yoga is, it's my path. And so it took many years of sitting there in meditation. And at first it was just, I just cried. I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried for about 7 years. It's like, am I ever going to stop crying? It's been like 7 years. I'm still crying. I just sob and sob and sob. Where's all this pain coming from? And it was like, just keep going, just keep clearing, just keep moving through. It's like, am I nearly there? Am I nearly there? Where, Davinda? There! Where's there? I'm like, I don't know. When's this going to be over? And it just continued and continued. But when I started to notice, I could sit in meditation, and then people would go, oh my God, you're like a little Buddha statue. You don't move. You just sit there. And it's like, when did that happen? I was the worst. I was just full of pain and suffering. Every part of my body and mind was just full of pain and suffering. And now I'm sitting there like, isn't this bliss? But I still didn't fully understand the impact until I started experiencing samskaras. And they're taught by the yogis as you start to move towards complete liberation and enlightenment. And samskaras are the real deep unconscious beliefs that your ancestral line have suffered over and gone through for such a long time that they still play a part in you. So again, this is why I wanted to create MedYoga, because it's so way ahead of its time when I created MedYoga, because it's so simple, but so inner body, because if I can get people to connect to their inner body, the sooner you're going to start to experience samskaras. And if you can stay present, it takes time, but if you can stay present with a samskara, if your ancestral line has believed in struggle, which definitely my ancestral line coming from India, and my parents, my dad was orphaned, and his belief was work hard, work hard, work hard, never enough money, work your butt off, be like a man, Davinda, survive. And so that's why I was who I was. The divine feminine, or it can be easy and flow and surrender, things come to me, I trust the male energy to also provide for me, there's a give and take. It was like, no, work, don't trust the male energy, survive, be a strong woman. So it's that belief that was so nearly killed me so many times, but I couldn't get off it. I couldn't, because the level of fear at me letting go. And then when I connected to the samskara, and it was linked to the back, because this is where you're not supported, and it was your whole car accident have been done, this damage to your spine is not feeling supported. And as that samskara started coming up, I realized in order to break down an unconscious belief to that level, you need huge presence. Otherwise, it will take you out. You cannot. You go unconscious. And as I started studying people around me, I always do, I can sit with somebody and I know immediately when they become unconscious and they don't themselves. I will see it in their energy fields. I'll see their chakras start to shut down. I'll see their colors start to dim. And it's like they haven't even realized, but they've become unconscious. So these belief systems are determining to how present we are here in life. And many of us are present 5 to 10%. The rest we're not, because of these big boulders. They're big boulders. And this is what samskaras are. They're the big boulders. But if you can shift a big boulder, you change the direction for everybody and those around you. And I started noticing as I gained more resilience. Resilience was key. Resilience to stay in the storm, no matter what the mind was screaming, no matter how uncomfortable in the body. If I could stay present, and it took non-stop meditation to do that, which is why it's so key. You have to meditate, because the only way through one of these blocks is meditation, because meditation is simply building that resilience and your presence power. Without that presence power, you cannot move through a boulder like that. You will always be blocked, and it just carries on. But this is the power that I started realizing, was these yogis aren't just sat here going, hey, isn't life wonderful because nothing's happening around me? No, they are the ones that are doing the job of removing massive boulders and samskaras. So they are feeling complete chaos. So when one of these samskaras, these belief systems, rises in the body, physically, somebody would think they were either dying or having a heart attack. But they have learned, and what I was learning to do was, no, stay present, do not disconnect. Because then, yes, that can lead to what you think it might happen, whether it's a heart attack, but it's your resistance that's creating that heart attack or that disease. But if you can stay present and keep watching, don't shift, but penetrate your consciousness into the body, you will go straight through that DNA and transform and heal at energetic level, which then sends the signals all the way through the memory and the body, totally transforming it. And I started seeing this in my body, and it was like, I cannot believe what is happening to my physical body. I could not lean backwards. And now I'll be 50 in 2 years. It's like I can do back bends, I can do blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I know I would not have ever been able to do that if I didn't commit to that meditation and have the resilience to face what I was going to have to face whilst I sat in meditation. Because believe me, you will want to run 1,000,000 miles when you're faced with one of these boulders, or these because it's unconsciousness. You are facing unconsciousness, and that is dark, deep shadow. But if you're able, this is the true work of a light worker, is to know you're strong, resilient enough to face unconsciousness. And the more you can face unconsciousness, the more it breaks down and more light you have within you and the world. And this is what's happening across the planet. The unconsciousness is all coming up within all of us. And as we continue on this journey, as we move to 5th dimension, we're all going to have different levels. And you have no idea what is going to move through your system that's unconscious in your ancestral line. And you have to be prepared for it. And that's very much my message. I want to make sure everybody is prepared for what's going to happen over the next 10, 15, 20 years, because they have to be ready to let what's unconscious move through them. They have to be. And I'll be brave enough to say I actually believe at the moment 90% of the population are nowhere near ready. But just that 10% that are, they're creating massive shift and change, because the light is stronger than the dark. But we need to get more people understanding the energy body and staying with the energy body and being able to penetrate the energy body, have the resilience to stay present through the chaos and whatever is going to move through you. Because that's breaking down the belief systems that created the past. And they've got to crumble for fifth dimension, because it's a big leap. So we're not just breaking down small thoughts from third to fifth. It's not, okay, I had this thought, I'm going to have a nice thought instead. We are going from third to fifth dimension, which means we are literally going belief systems, and not just surface belief systems. We're going, right, the belief systems that have held humanity back for thousands and thousands of years, we have the opportunity to shift them for good across the earth. And I know that from personal experience. I know for a fact what I've done in this lifetime, in 20, 25 years, my guides have told me would normally take somebody 20, 25 lifetimes minimum to get through. And God, I know that. And this is what you'll all be going through. So when you think, oh my God, it's like one after the other, it's like, why is it so intense? You are clearing lifetime after lifetime after lifetime in one lifetime. You're not going, in this lifetime, then I'll pass away, then I'll incarnate. You're going, no, bring it all on. Let me shift. Let me transform. Let me see how much of a light worker I can be. That's why it's so tough. We are not having to leave the physical body and then incarnate. We are staying and going through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime and staying in the physical body. This is the speeding up. The soul does not have to leave. The soul is going, even if it gets to the point, I know my soul had that opportunity of exit points. We have different exit points in life. And so it came across the exit point. Okay, Davinda, here's an exit point. You can choose to stay, or you can choose this destiny in this lifetime. And it's like, what's the destiny? It's like, oh, great. Okay, I don't want that destiny. You can choose to have your death now. This is how it's going to happen. Here's your destiny. My soul was like, I'm in an ahhing for a bit. And I remember speaking to my sister, she's like, has it made up his mind? I was like, not fully. I said, the human part wants to go, but the soul is like, I'm not ready yet. Actually, I need to feel and sense. And then suddenly it was my soul staying. My soul staying. No matter what state my body's in, no matter what's happening, my soul is choosing to stay. And then quick sudden repair of the physical body. And it's like, oh my God, it's no longer dying. It's staying, so it's starting to heal. It's got something to stay for. And so the healing repair, and it's like next lifetime. But I didn't leave the body. And I know this happens so many times. It's like, oh my God, I've had so many lifetimes and so many opportunities to leave because it's happening so quickly. The death, the birth, death, birth. And it was, how far can you go? And it's like, be a leader into the fifth dimension. That's what you're all going to be doing. And everybody you're taking with you. It's you're moving into fifth dimension, and your tribe and your tribes, they've chosen to be born into density. And that's where it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But we can do it. And we are doing it.